so don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He makes sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? Gonna look at my snaps. I take your man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this button, the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these racks. That be late, waist snatch, back straight facts. Got lips like Angelina, belly truck tangerine. Jumping on my, that's why they call it trampoline. Babe, like a Monday, Ferrari body. This is sweet Saturday, that's just for plastic. I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a, them pretty, you look like Beyonce. Looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back.
Camara Drive-In. It's the coach. This is the 2018.
First opened way back in 19.
Hey, what's up, gang? Let me go secure for the game right quick. Hey, what's up, gang? I got it. I think it's my fault. For real. What's up, hey, I got that check to go. I'm gone. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No call. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. Good drip. Good drip. But she love you. Don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rafe in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from filling out kites to putting it in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a. In jail I had. I make you cut off the. Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hanging and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm counting the guap. Who gave you a voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie got the big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check to golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No call. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you. Don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white.
Camara Drive-In. It's a coach. You're locked into Madden.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Tonight, it's the 512th and final game of the regular season, and we've got a good one between the New Orleans Saints and the Chicago Bears. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
I know you saw in your email that the ballots will be coming in after this week's games for league MVP. You've got a vote. I've got a vote. We're getting ready to see a closing argument in this one, though. Can he lock it down?
Week 17, the last act. We're not supposed to say who we're voting for, but I can say this. He's in the stadium right now. So there you go. There's my hint.
There's your hint right there. I'm going to wait until after this one is over. He's got to sway me with one more performance.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
No, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And Josh Hill has it. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Fighting him off. That's out to Hill, right side complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Off the play fake, here's Brissett. On the crossing route, complete. It's Hill. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Already, he's top 50 receiving yards in this first quarter. And he's got a 1st down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Defensively, they better figure something out. Opening drive, he already has 4 catches.
And if you have to figure out how to stop him defensively, that usually means you weaken your defense. That means that now the offense is doing the dictating, and they should have other things open up as well.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But if the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
Here we go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
Brissett sets to throw it. And this will be incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And now it's 2nd down.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the 2nd level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
Come on, let's go! What?
On play action, Brissett. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? From the gun, here's Brissett. Toward the pylon, caught. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is, still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they can look at it positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. Leading them out at QB is the former North Carolina Tar Heel, Mitchell Trubisky.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Now Trubisky to throw. Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. Even with that broken tackle, can't go very far. Stops short of the 30. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They go play action here on first down. Flush to his right. Now Trubisky lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this, and it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Give him 2 yards on that play, and they're going to face a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they coughed it up. Led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Well, look now at the defensive starters for the Saints. They played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
This is Cohen. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They run. This is Cohen. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Lock in.
This is Howard on second down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Open man is Miller. He's got it.
Let's go, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Blue. Set up. 180.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline. But what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the 1st down.
They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle 3rd of the field where he threw that one. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Red, up, 180.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. Over the middle, complete. That's Cohen. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. He's got room to run past the 20. And down right around the 37. A big play there out of Kamara. 54 yards. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined. No one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On second down, Ingram. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Khalil Mack's starting to get a really big-time reputation as a pass rusher, and rightly so. So explosive off the edge getting to the quarterback. But he doesn't neglect his run duties as well. How about that tackle right there?
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the return stops at the 39-yard line.
So it's third and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they're bringing an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. After the interception, here's Trubisky. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so... cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Here we go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
Again, this is Kamara. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now Brissett. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Being strong up the middle is imperative. I don't care what your sport, but in football, when you've got a D tackle who can contribute not only to occupying bodies, but also making plays on the ball carrier, that's when you have the cornerstone of a solid run defense.
Play action. It's Trubisky. Flushed out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now Trubisky to throw on second. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. The Bears on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Lock in.
They go play action. Trubisky. For the left side, complete. That's Robinson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And this one is incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And Parkey's kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part, but they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game, though.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. Well, they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go. 38.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12.
Here we go. 38.
They'll run. This is Kamara. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep, Tariq Cohen. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Now Trubisky on 1st down. It's caught on the right side by Robinson.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte, where it was the Panthers who were able to come away with a home victory. 21-3, the final score. From there, let's head up to Cincinnati to check in on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting New York Giants. Joe Mixon, a touchdown run in the victory. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. The call of the second half. Let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Call it a gain of 5, and it's a second down.
Brandon, more and more offenses are going to the philosophy of using every inch of the field to try and spread things out. And when you're running back and catch the ball as well, that can only help your offense.
Trubisky with the give to Howard. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Trubisky now to throw on third down, eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They find some open field here. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Going up top for Miller. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Lock in, lock in.
On the handoff, this is Howard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter. Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game. Now Trubisky. And he's got Miller. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now a play fake here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one. No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play? Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much. Trubisky to throw again. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. That's his second sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long. All 9 points for him coming via the field goal, and this last one puts him out in front. All the field goals are great, but you know I'm going to get pessimistic here, right? Because you've got to score touchdowns to win games in the NFL. I just wonder if all these field goals, great now, I wonder if they'll come back and haunt them later on. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two. Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time. How many plays do you script coming out of the second? Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Brissett now on second down. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak. A first down throw for Brissett. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one? The tight end, but not there. Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle? And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. Gun, Brissett. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Let's go! Ryan 38!
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Burton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he stopped immediately there. On to stop there defensively, Tyler Davison.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Lock in.
On second down, Trubisky. And this is going to be caught? No, they say it's incomplete. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete.
Illegal touching.
Let's see who this is on. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams.
Holding offense.
So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
Here we go!
On the ground, Kamara. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on E8. Back now at Soldier Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Let's go! Ryan 38!
Second down, Brissett. Completes this one to Meredith. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done... Well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Bissell. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Leonard Floyd in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch. And a first down.
Come on, let's go. What does it? What does it?
On 1st and 10, Brissett. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Robinson. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Look in, lock in.
A give to Howard, and he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Here's Trubisky to throw. To the right side, complete to Miller. A very solid gain of 27. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
Lock in, lock in.
Now Cohen. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They run with Howard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. Flush to his right. He leaves this one for Howard. Oh, no, he lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we could make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Following the fumble recovery, it's Trubisky. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a fourth pick of the game. And now fourth down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only one score down.
Yeah, true. I mean, we could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The Saints in the hurry up here. Clock continuing to roll. He'll look to throw. And Thomas has it. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Back to throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And that one good for 16 yards and a first. They'll look to throw. And Hill with it over the middle. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
He's back to throw. Smith catches left side. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead.
Let's go!
Back to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Here we go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
Brissett. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
Now Brissett. And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you...
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And that is going to put him on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll put it out to the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
they practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Trubisky to throw. Completion left side to Miller. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Running with Howard. He's to the 10. And finally down at the 9-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. Got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. So here's the former Pro Bowler, Cody Parkey, in field goal formation. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So here's the former Pro Bowler, Cody Parkey, in field goal formation. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And off the upright, and it caroms in. It's good. The kick is good, and that writes a crazy finish to this one. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Chicago, it's an 11th win of the year as they'll finish the regular season at 11-5. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, this might wind up being a tough pill to swallow as they're going to finish the season at 9-7. And as division champs, they will host a playoff game next week in the wild card round. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis,